To the Dallara HQ here in Indianapolis for the first ever Indy Esports Challenge. My name is Luke Crane, I'll be one of your hosts today. I am joined by David or Devin, depends how you want to be pronouncing it today.
According to AK Esports last night, my name is David, but according to everything the rest of my life, it was Devin. So I guess we'll go with David for now.
Absolutely. Well, we have got 10 of the very best university students from the local area taking part in a 50-lap race around Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This might be the most important race of the whole weekend. You never know. We've got so many people behind us as well watching. I don't know if they're going to give us a cheer at all. Woo! So there you go, there's so many people behind us. But yes, again, a lot of these are your peers, of course. Who you're supporting is pretty obvious.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm from Ball State University, as is some of the production that is working today. And we have 6 drivers from Ball State, as well as from other universities around Indiana. And I know a couple of these drivers, a good amount of these drivers, obviously the one from Ball State, and I recognize a few of them from the other universities that we compete against. And I can tell you that a lot of these drivers are so very, very talented. All of them are. I mean, we dwindled it down from about 20 drivers to the 10 that we have now, and they're going to be ones racing in this 50-lap race.
100%. As you can see, it's going to be completely impartial. We're not going to be no favourites.
I'm going to try my best.
Have 5 drivers there. Oh, that was not ideal. Anyway, we of course have got the new partnership that we've announced this weekend with Dallara and AK Esports. We're going to hear from Alessio, the brainchild of that, very, very shortly. But let's have a little message from our partners. Well, welcome back. We're going to do the transition now live on screen. So Devin's going to move off, and Alessio, who took his time, I think he was having a little siesta there behind the scenes. But we are going to see this beautiful man make an appearance now on the broadcast. Alessio, how you doing, mate? You good?
Are you good? Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. So let's talk about the partnership. Of course, Dallara, one of the main, of course, companies within not just Indianapolis but motor sport in general. The history is just rich with wins and safety and beautiful stuff. And obviously AK Esports is what your little baby, right? Of course, now going more global. Let's talk through the partnership. How did it happen? What does it mean?
It means a lot. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to us, and I think it means a lot to the entire world of sim racing, because it's a natural fusion between two different worlds, but they're not that much different, because as we highlighted in our presentation Thursday when we did our first inauguration together with Dallara, we explain everyone that in the current days, especially in Dallara, the cars are developed fully digitally. So the digital twin is not actually the virtual model, but is the car. No, so we do something similar, but in an esports way. So our plans are to create a beautiful project around technology, sim racing, competition, car modeling, and a lot of stuff that I'm not going to bore anyone here. So we are here for competition, which is one of our best business in Europe. So we want to bring our way to do things here in United States with an American flavor. And to do that, why don't we do an IndyCar race here in Indianapolis with a lot of players coming directly from the university? Because for people watching from Europe, yeah, guys, here in the university they study esport, they do sim racing, and it's something that may look my goosebumps. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about this as a whole? Like, did you expect to see the turnout? Of course, we've got the superstar drivers out there, but the turnout here, lots of fans getting involved there. Rowdy, there's a couple of people with some beers out there as well, which I'd like to see. Maybe a share one later on. That'd be great.
Yeah, it's an experiment. We wanted to do something to start up our business, making some community with the university, and let's see, it's a sort of one-off event for our inauguration day. Is the weekend of Indy 500, so even also for us is very busy. So we try to make this happening in a very short time. Also thanks to all the university participating today with just a very short notice. But we are Europeans, so we were not aware that they hand the university before we do. No? So it's a lot of drivers are already at home. Otherwise, we will have a lot of more drivers here. So we expect a lot of more competition. Look here, and I think the sim racing is a major esport also in the United States. We can put it in on different levels, thanks also with the collaboration we have worldwide with a lot of manufacturers, and thanks to the technology that we can develop with Dallara. And this venue is beautiful. We just established here, so this is also a sort of test setup. Okay, we have still need to do some fine tuning, audio especially, because it's a big venue with a lot of reverb. So you from home, guys, if you hear something not perfect, so please excuse us, but this is a test. Also, we are doing such beautiful buildings with the Dallara XP there, Indy next car here, a lot of super secret cars in the back, and we have the IMS in our, no, it's that way, 300 meters probably, 500 meters.
We can hear it, we can literally hear it.
Yeah, we had the jet fighters to welcome us here.
Of course, yeah.
It was cool. I mean, I didn't call them. I'm not paying the bill, by the way. You do.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, yeah, thank you for your time. We're going to get on with the show now, I guess. And
last thing. No, I need to say, because the collaboration, and actually it's not really a collaboration. We created a company together. So Dallara IK Esports is an actual company established in the US. But one thing I want also to thank is the collaboration we are having with different universities, but especially with Ball State University right here for the production. Because everything here is produced together with them. So we have our head of production working with Professor Jefferson and all the other students that he's bringing here, the very high professional way, even if they are studying. And we have also the second commentator, which is, or even him is a student. So you are the pro, is the student. We should be considered a pro, and they are the students. So let's see what we can do together. And I'm super excited. And let's have fun. So I will ask all the people that walking outside the building if they want to to sit inside and to watch the race, it will be fun for sure. Thank you, mate.
Enjoy the show, mate. So there you go, guys. Alessio himself. Little round of applause. Love to see that. So we're going to welcome Devin back in, and this is where things really kick off. Let's talk about the format then. We've got a qualifying session, 10 minutes.
Yep.
The fastest time starts at the front. It really is as simple as that. Then it is a 50-lap race. So it's effectively an Indy 125, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, the 10 drivers that we have, they're all extremely talented. I'm happy to say, I'll remove the bias when we're actually in the race, but I'm very happy to say that all 6 Ball State drivers that came here are in the race, which makes me very happy. But the people who qualified first, in the first rig over here from Ball State, we have Lucas Moody with a 40.1. Right next to him is Jacob Petticourt from Purdue with a 40, also a 40.1. A lot of these times are going to be separated very, very close, especially with how we know oval works. And then in third, Ben Neller, also from Ball State, 40.2. Davis Behringer, he is from Butler, and he had a 40.2. As we are getting into qualifying now, Alex Jones from Ball State. He's actually from Carmel High School. He's a Ball State Academy driver. Right after him, Andrew Stege, Ball State driver. Aiden Korn, Oakland City. Ricky Paz, Valparaiso, Daniel Naney, Ball State, and Cale Davidson, Ball State.
Perfect there, Devin. Love to see that. We've got some prizes as well. Our partners, Fanatec, of course, are supplying some incredible prizes. P1 will get $2,000 worth of gear. P2 will get themselves $1,550 worth of gear. And if you're P3, it's $950 of gear. Right, 4 minutes left on the clock. We are in qualifying. We're about to find out who will start from pole position, and this is where it really does start to get a bit spicy.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, if you get in the podium, you're winning. I mean, I feel like if you get into the podium, you're getting equipment no matter what, no matter how much it costs. And I mean, now I wish I was racing because I want some of that equipment myself. But yeah, like I said, 3.5 minutes left to qualifying. All these drivers will probably get a few laps to really get their pace up, and they'll probably only get 2 or 3 laps to really put in a time with the momentum that they built up. Right now, our first 2 times have come in. Andrew Stege tops with pole so far, and then Alex Jones in second so far. The only 2 times that we have, other drivers are still fixing their times.
Yeah, so Stege there, and the number 88 picking up P1 as it stands. Jones in second position. 3 minutes left on the clock. The lap times are around about 40 seconds, so plenty of time to indeed get your times in. And drivers might be waiting for the track to indeed cool down to put their lap times in. As Nani now goes up into second position.
Yep, only Ball State drivers so far to set a time.
Getting a lovely onboard then with Ben Neller as he comes across the line at one of the most famous arenas for motorsport in the world, IMS. Across the line he will go, and is that pole position? It's very, very close. We haven't got the times up on there. It is pole position, so Neller does go up into the top of the timesheet. So that will be a front row start. He will start the race off, and that is something we need to sort of talk about. When the pace car disappears, it is up to the leader to start the race.
Yep. And fun fact about what Neller's qualifying, he actually had to qualify twice. So he was in the first group of 10 students that did the qualifying, but there was an issue with his throttle, and he was originally not in the top 10. And then they did it again, and, well, he ended up in third to get into the race qualifying from the pre-qualifying. So, I mean, you know he's going to be fast. Another driver I'd like to point out, a lot of these Ball State drivers I know very well. Lucas Moody, very, very quick. The only thing that could stop him now would be small mistakes we've seen him make in the past. But other than that, these other drivers are just so fast. Right now, everybody's pretty much putting the time. Behringer in 9th, Korn 8th. As some drivers, we're waiting for our last driver to set in the time. I believe the only one that hasn't set in time might be Ricky Paz from Valparaiso. Last driver to set up a time so far. Another really important thing for this track is to make sure that you stay consistent with your line. That's how you build up a momentum on these oval tracks, especially Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we're watching now Barringer go across the line there. It's not going to be good enough to move up from that top 10 or the 10th position. But as it stands, though, it is Moody who was the fastest qualifier, as Stagey moves up into second position. So grabbing 2 spots, went from 4th up to second. We've got Nella now in 3rd. Davidson is in 4th. Then Nanny, Jones. We've then got Petticourt, Paz, Korn and Barringer as your 10 drivers. Maybe you've never really experienced sim racing before and you think, oh, this is oval racing, this should be pretty easy. It is so tough. The dirty air in this car makes it almost impossible to follow a car in front of you. So this is going to be a big test. So qualifying is absolutely everything. We will see overtakes, but we will also see people put it in a wall just being behind someone so closely.
Yeah, the normal Indy 500, with the amount of laps that has, there's a lot of red flags, there's a lot of cautions, and we only have 50 laps for this one, so I can only imagine that all that's squeezed in between. All these drivers are going to be gunning for the person in front of them. I can only assume of the chaos that we are going to see, especially in sim racing. I mean, rear racing, you have that risk factor, obviously. I mean, I guess there is a bit of a risk factor because you want to win $2,000 worth of equipment.
There's a lot of stake here. Also, you are at the home of motorsport. We are in Indianapolis. We've got a crowd here watching these drivers. There is so much at stake. But here is your official grid then. Lucas Moody, fastest qualifier, will start from pole position. We've got Andrew Stagey, who starts on the front row. He's in 2nd. Ben Nella starts in 3rd spot. Cal Davidson will start in 4th. Daniel Nanny in 5th position. Alex Jones will start in 6th. Then got Jacob Petticourt in 7th. Ricky Paz in 8th. And then we've got Aidan Korn in 9th. And Davis Barringer is in 10th position. And well, it's now time for the most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines.
There we go.
Here we go. Race time.
It is a full Ball State lockout at the front 6.
Oh, you can't even hide it, can you? You can't even hide the
smiles
smile
on my face, but I'll try to hide it from now on. But sometimes being in this front, and especially being in the middle of this pack, especially since we only have 10 drivers, there's going to be a lot of drafting through these corners. As starting, there we go. Now we're getting into the formation lap and to start the race. But as I was saying, in the middle of this pack, sometimes there could be a lot of mistakes, especially with all the drafting, with how close you are to the cars. If we see a 3 wide situation, that's almost guaranteed for somebody in the wall. If that doesn't happen, that's how you know that all these drivers are incredible.
Of course, we start here in double file. It's not in treble file, it's double file for this. They have one formation lap that they will complete. The pace car will then disappear, and it is up to our leader, Moody, to take them away. At the start of this race, you cannot overtake on the inside until it goes green on your screen. You can go around the outside, that's fine, but on the inside, you will get a black flag and you will have to serve that within 3 laps. We do have cautions on, so if we see wheels missing, cars upside down, they will indeed pull the caution, and there is 1 fast repair. So what that means is, if someone gets damaged, they can come to the pits and they get an instant repair, but ultimately they're going to be going a lot slower by coming into the pits, so it still will be massively affecting their race unless there's a caution. But once they've used that 1 fast repair, that is it. Yeah,
and I mean, you have 50 laps to use it, and I mean, you got to be really strategic. So you got to figure out when you're going to do it. They probably already prepared it in before the race and before qualifying, so it's going to be interesting to see how they work it.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. It is the inaugural Indy Esports Challenge, live here at the Delara HQ at Indianapolis. We've got 10 of the very finest university students from the local area taking part for some incredible prizes. We're about to go green light racing here, 50 laps of IMS. And it's all down to Moody, who qualified on pole. He was the quickest driver in practice. And while we head now down towards turn number 1, and we are green light racing here. And it's a phenomenal start from Moody. Steger then just sits in behind in 2nd spot. And Nella does filter nicely into 3rd position. It seems like they figured themselves out nicely here as we see a potential move for the lead. And while it's going to work out there, it's a brilliant bit of driving. And Stagey already letting everybody know that he is here to race.
Yeah, an incredible first corner. I mean, everybody pretty much zipped up into the line pretty fast, and already an almost 3 wide situation going in. Incredible control by these first 3 drivers to keep it out.
Oh!
Already!
Teammates, they collided. Ball State University. 2 drivers in the wall on the exit of 4.
I think that,
well, You just can't write it. Two teammates getting involved. Lap number 1. You've got to take it easy, guys.
That is our.
Luckily, there is a fast repair, so they should be okay. There is a caution out, of course, as well, so they will get the chance to catch up. But they've got to learn from that.
It's going to be hard. I mean, that was, I believe, that was our pole sitter, Moody, and then I believe also Andrew Stagey.
I just had a real surreal moment. I'm commentating
I was trying
on Indianapolis race, and Mr. Delara just walks past and gives me a nod. I'm sorry. That was a surreal moment. Great times. Right, anyway, caution.
Absurd world.
They're under caution for 3 laps. Once the pace car comes past, they'll have 2 to go. And again, it gives a chance for the 2 drivers who were involved in that to get their car fixes. Instant repair for the first time, like we mentioned, and then they come back out. They'll join the back of the pack. And I don't think there will be a lap down. I think they should be good. So everybody should still be on the lead lap. Although they would have towed, so they've still got to get that tow penalty, which will cost them even more time. But in all of that, I believe that Nella is now in the lead.
Yeah, I mean, after that first 3 wide situation that we saw, Nella really bided his time.
That was beautiful, by the way.
That was great.
That was really
incredible.
good. And then the second bit wasn't.
No, I think that's when both Moody and Stagey started to get a little overzealous. They're ready to fight. I mean, their teammates are competitive. They have to be. But Neller saw it coming. I mean, he bided his time. He waited for that perfect moment to strike. And, I mean, look where he got him. Now he's in first place. And now all he has to do with 2 of his teammates, and 3 of his teammates, actually, Davidson, Naney, and Jones all behind him, all he has to do is make sure he builds up that pace and builds up the momentum while the safety, right after the safety car goes back into the pits.
It was really good until it wasn't.
Yes.
That's kind of how I'm going to sum that up. It was really good, and then it was not. We're going to have one more to go, though, as they cross the line next time around. The pace car there, you can see out in front. It is Nella that leads the way. Davidson is in second. Nanny in third. Jones is in fourth position. We've got Paz in fifth. We've got Pellicord in 6th position. Then we've got Barringer and Korn as your 8 drivers that are currently behind the pace car. And then you've got Moody, who, again, was one of the favourites for sure. And I would say Stagey. I think both of those drivers were the 2 favourites. From what I saw earlier on in the qualifying and the practice, those 2 really stood out as star drivers, and they are both going to be at the back of the pack.
I mean, Moody was topping the charts from whether pre-qualifying, qualifying, and then he had a great pace going into him, and Stagey had a great pace going into that corner right before they ended up taking each other out. And, I mean, we saw Andrew Stagey there for a second, close up, still locked in even after the accident. He's making sure he keeps his focus, make sure he stays in the zone for this race.
So the restart here will be single file. So it will not be double file now. It will be a single file restart. Pace car still got one more lap to go with this. And again, you can overtake round the outside. You cannot overtake on the inside until it goes green. So you'll see all of our drivers be as close to that ball as possible, not leaving any gap to work with from the drivers behind.
It's all about strategy at this point. I mean, this is with the safety cars that are probably going to come out, and I have a feeling we're probably going to get a couple if the racing continues this way. Their pit strategy is going to have to change too. They get one pit, and it's going to have to change, and especially Stagey and Moody. I mean, that's their one and done, so they got to be really careful.
But it is only going to be one pit stop, so depending on how many laps we completed
did the tow
here.
Count? As a pit stop? Did the tow count as Moody and
they can put fuel in the car. They get a fast repair, but they can choose whether to put new boots on and indeed fill the car. So if we're around about the 10 lap mark by the end of this, which I don't think we are, I still think they will need to do a splash and dash.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work out for them perfectly, but if we have more cautions, that then could play into the favour for them. So right now, Moody and Stagey, who have, of course, been involved in a big accident, if they have a caution-filled race, they might be able to go to the end here. So actually could work out pretty well for them. Anyway, we have got ourselves 2 corners to go. We're about to have a restart here for the inaugural Indy Esports Challenge. We're hoping for a nice green flag stint in this race, maybe all the way to the end. But they are so close in terms of talent and in terms of pace that they are going to be very close. And, well, as we've already seen, they are not shy to go side by side. And already on that one, we had a 3-wide situation. Here we go. So pace car taking them around turn number 4, and it will be Nella that will be the driver to get them going. So he'll wait until the last second, I would imagine, because of the slipstreaming. You do not want to give anybody an opportunity He's gone really early here. Across the line we go, and it is lap number 5 and 50. So no, indeed, it's lap number 6 actually, once they cross that line. But they will not be able to gain that time back in terms of fuel, I don't think, unless they have a fair few cautions. A bit further back, though, battling for what will be 5th position. Paz and Jones going side by side. They figured himself out there, and Jones has made the move up to top 4.
Yeah, so far pretty neat, except for the one move. We're seeing a couple moves at the front here. That is Neller and Davidson. Davidson trying to overtake his teammate around the outside. Neller's got the good line, though. He holds it off. And in third, close behind, is Naney.
Yeah, Neller did a really good job there, defends that position nicely. He left the door open out around the outside. I love that move personally through 3 and 4, but ultimately Neller still had the grip on that inside. He was able to basically hold that spot there, and Davidson just had to back out ever so slightly, otherwise he's going to end up in the wall. Dirty air is a huge factor. You've got to try and get clear air onto your front wing, as there's nearly a mistake there actually from Davidson. Again, you see him getting as close to that wall as he possibly dare, but right now Neller giving us a textbook restart. Yeah,
knowing Cale Davidson, any opportunity he sees, he's going to jump on it. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit of a risk, he's going to jump on it if he sees it, but he also knows how to weigh the risks, and he knows when to back out when he needs to. He's not too overzealous, but he will go for an opportunity if he sees it. He does not hesitate with that at all.
Petticoat here behind Paz, looking for a move down towards turn number 1. Sort of fakes a move there on the inside, trying to force a mistake from in front there, but it's not going to work out. It's actually Moody has moved up into a top 5 by the looks of things. So he's had a great restart here, and Moody, who again is one of the faster drivers out there, is starting to make his way through the pack.
Yeah, the pack is not really started to split up, except for the bottom 2. Stagey and Korn are starting to lose a bit of time to the pack. They're about 4 seconds out, or 4 hundredths out.
Here we go. Moody is looking to make a move. He actually is still in P8. We had a bit of an issue with the timing there. But as we round the final corner, Moody was very close, sort of dirty air there. He just had to let off the gas ever so slightly as we head then down towards those famous bricks once again on lap number 8 of 50. We're about now to head through turn number 1. A bit of a mistake there, actually, from the car in front there. So Petticoat ran very wide, and he'll be very slow going into towards turn number 2. Is there an opportunity here for Moody to take advantage? We've got a caution. Not sure what the caution was for. We've not seen that. But ultimately, we are now going to be going slow again, which plays into the hands of Stagey and Moody.
Yeah, this is the perfect case scenario for them. I'm not entirely sure why we have the caution. We didn't really see that. I don't know if there was something at the front. I'm looking to see if anybody jumps down in the standings to see if we missed a crash, but it doesn't look like it.
No, here we go. We're going to get a replay. And, dear, that is less than ideal. That's Stagey and Korn. And, well, there's, that's interesting what happened there. Congratulations. We're going to have a baby Delara being born in about 9 months' time.
There we go. Yeah, Stagey just not having a great race so far. You can see the frustration on his face. I think he is.
Is it done?
He's out, yeah.
2 incident. He's not got a fast repair. That will be, he would have been told by the crew chief in the game that your car's toast, you cannot carry on.
Yeah, you can see the frustration on his face, not the way he wanted the race to go, just 2 unlucky situations at the beginning of the race and then just then.
As they say, that is the jungle.
That is the jungle, yeah. Especially the Indianapolis Motor Speedway jungle, where really so many accidents.
Jungle.
Yeah, very. Tall trees, Amazon.
Exactly that. I order from Amazon all the time. Right, we're on caution number 2 then. Hopefully only 2 in this race. It's Neller that leads the way. Then Davidson, who looked to try and get involved, looked to try and get fruity with Neller, but ultimately decided against it in the end. He's in P2. We've got Nanny then in P3. Jones in 4th. Paz in 5th. We've got Moody making his way up the order. So he's now up into a top 6 position. Remember, he was, well, actually, again, it says 6 on our screen here, but on the right-hand side, he is not. So he's actually P8. So, yeah, all we're seeing drivers coming to the pits here. So this is where it gets interesting. Yeah. So they feel like they can now get fuel in the car. They can get maybe a fresh set of boots. Yep. It's a free pit stop, but then they can go to the end. Whereas everyone else might get caught out by this. So this is very interesting indeed. So we've got Petticoat, who's coming into the pits as it stands. And I'm not sure who the car is in front of him. But ultimately, these 2 are trying something different, which I like. I really do like.
I thought we were about to see a crash in the pits there, but they ghosted through each other. So got really, really nervous for those 2 drivers for a second. But, yeah, this is just a really this is an undercut attempt that really could go their way or could, it it could bite them in the back a bit.
I think what you're looking for is it could work or it couldn't.
There we go. That's a much simpler way from when I was overcomplicating it in my head. But
it may well work or it might not.
Yeah, but it just depends on the pace of the drivers in front of them and how well they can keep their pace going after they get the fresh tires. So, and since it's an oval, they catch up pretty fast, especially since they have a caution right now, so they're going to catch up anyway, actually. So everything I just said has no relevance whatsoever, so the undercut should work perfectly in their favor.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong there. This is a super interesting start to the race. Nella, again, he's pretty happy out in P1. He'll get the restart once again. Just in behind Nella, we have ourselves there, Davidson. Again, Nani in that third position as well. So that's your top three. Nella, a very, very good start from him. Like a very mature race from him so far. Like you said earlier on, it did go 3 wide. He was the only one that decided, you know what, this is a long race. I didn't need to get involved in this, gentleman. And then the other two went into the wall, and if you hit a wall in this car, it is not fun.
I mean, look at him now. He's cruising in first place. He does have Cale Davidson and Daniel Naney behind him. Alex Jones, the Ball State Academy driver from Carmel High School. They have Moody behind him. I don't think Moody's actually behind him. I think Moody's down in 8th. I think that we're seeing that incorrectly. No, he is in 6th.
He's up to 6th position.
6th place. So
2 cars came into the pits, remember?
Yep, great pace from him so far. And, I mean, with the safety car, he's going to have even more of a chance, especially being right in the middle. While it is a bit of a risk to be in the middle of the pack, especially on this track, he's going to have some extra draft there, and they're going to be able to push his momentum forward. But they're still going to have that dirty air problem that we've mentioned him a lot.
Yeah, it's all about Nella and the restart now. Again, will we be restarting this time around, or will it be the next lap? We're heading down towards turn number 3. Remember, this is a 50-lap race. There are a couple of cars now off strategy here as well. So Korn and Petticord, those two, we believe, can now go to the end without refueling and obviously not needing to put any fresh rubber onto the car, whereas everybody else in front of them, so that would be, for me, Paz, Barringer, Moody, Jones, Nani, Davidson and Nella, they are all going to have to pit, and if this goes green all the way to the end now, they are all going to be in serious trouble. So Petticord and Korn may have just played an absolute blinder.
Yeah. Korn hailing from Oakland City University. Petticord from, I believe, if I can find the name, Purdue. I was from Purdue, the engineering school Purdue. Also in Indiana. All these schools are Indiana. And, I mean, it's great. I mean, there's something in Butler that has called Battle for Indiana every year. All the Indiana schools come close, so I've met a couple of these people before there, and it's great. And as we get green racing soon.
Here we go, then we're off, and Nella will take them away down towards turn number 1. It's already 2 wide, but further back then, and Davidson under some severe pressure, and by the looks of things has lost that position. So we have seen a change, then I think Nani is now up to P2, and well, they are not messing around today, are they?
Yeah, and it says for us, which is not correct, it said here that Lucas Moody jumped up to second. I was like, that is insane.
We're going to have a retake here by the looks of things. Davidson looking to get back up into second spot through turn 3, down underneath of that car of Nani, and he retakes the position, but now they come down towards turn number 4, which is quite a nice open corner on entry, but on the exit it really tightens up. If you can get a really nice run down towards turn number 1, it'd be like taking candy from a baby. 2 position changes for second in 1 lap. Are we about to see a third? No, we are not. It's going to filter in. They're all going to be single file, and people now are sort of taking their time. As Moody, by the way, is looking to really get on the charge. There we go. Already then up into P6, looking to get a move then for that 5th position. Of course, the favourite coming into this realistically had an incident on lap number 1, and now looking to charge through the pack.
Yeah, and you saw how close Naney was getting to the wall, really just using all of the track he can in order to gain as much momentum and gain as much time on the person in front of him. And right here, I believe we're going to probably see a move in the next couple corners from, I believe that is
Paz?
Petticord and Paz.
Well, Paz is close to Moody here, so Paz was actually putting more pressure on Moody than Moody was putting on the car in front there. So, oh no, that's a big one. You could see it on the camera. He knew that was going to be bad. And as he broken the toe link, yeah, he's in trouble. And that, I think, is pretty much his race done and dusted. He's going to come down to the pits. I would imagine he's got the meatball flag.
He's shaking his head.
That will be a big repair, and our 2 favourites are effectively out of this race. Unbelievable scenes.
Lucas Moody had the best time in pre-qualifying and race qualifying and had the best pace out of the line until the first crash in the first couple laps. And then they had, I mean, you saw the little scuffle with the wall there. He's going to come into the pits.
Oh,
that's pretty much his race.
He's crabbing, he's struggling here. That's a big repair. And do you know what? I'll tell you, the maturity there from him, because he could quite easily have thrown his toys at the pram, and you can tell that he is able to keep his emotions in check. But unfortunately, a long trip here, a long qualifying for him, has ultimately ended in the race very emotionally, I would say. That was not ideal. I would have put my house on him winning this, to be honest. He was that quick compared to everybody else, but it just not worked out. But we are still green. There was no caution there, no car facing the wrong way, and we have got a genuine battle for the lead. The front three are separated by absolutely nothing as we come across the line of lap number 15. So are we about to see Davidson make a move? Are we about to see Nani get a bit closer? Down towards turn number 1 they go, and Nella going to hug that inside line and make it as difficult as possible.
I mean, Cale's just looking for any opportunity he can to get past Neller, and Neller is giving him no chance. He leaves it open a little bit there. Cale might try to find some pace and get onto the outside, but Neller's going to close him out. He's just going to close him out. He's not going to let him give any room. And you can see how close they are, 200ths of a second.
I'll tell you
right
what.
Now behind them is Naney in probably the most colorful car I've ever seen.
This is on. This is a really nice run out of turn number 4. He is going to close that gap then down to our race leader, Nella, under pressure from Davidson. Can Davidson find a gap through the inside? He's been forced to go up high. He's got that clear air on that front wing. And again, he just runs out of road there, has to get off the gas. Otherwise, he does end up into the wall as we're on board now with Alex Jones. And Alex is in a little bit of trouble here. Cannot afford to battle. Does not need to lose the toe to that front three. Otherwise, very quickly, your race can become over.
Just want to point out, we're looking at him now on this camera. That is Benjamin Neller right there. What excellent defending on his part from Cale Davidson. As I mentioned earlier, Cale Davidson is a driver who will look for every single opportunity and take it, no matter how small. And we're seeing it right now. I think he's going to look for another one.
And he keeps getting close out of turn number 4. It's so difficult to keep doing that over and over again without making a mistake. All you have to be doing is going slightly too fast or not taking the right angle through turn number 4, and you will be in that wall. And again, it's very unforgiving. We've seen it many a time in the real Indianapolis 500, and we've seen it today also. But as you can see, coming down towards turn number 3, the back straight, it is still very, very close indeed. He's just got to try and get some clear air onto that front wing and get a nice punchy run out of turn number 4 and then run all the way down towards 1 and try and get that inside line. But actually, he looks like he might be under a bit more pressure from Nani. Nani with a really nice run here, and this could close up very quickly.
And we're looking at Cale Davidson there. I mean, you can see the focus on his face. I'm sure if we looked at all the drivers' faces at the same time, we'd see the same level of focus. But he is just locked in on trying to find an opportunity on Neller, and he is just struggling. And now he has Naney pressuring him from behind. This whole top 3 is looking for really close to the wall there, using a little bit too much of the track. I'm not sure if he made contact. I don't think if he did, I don't think it was anything significant, but he was staying close.
That was super close. Oh, here we go. We've got an onboard. Then this is the battle for the lead of our race. Nella still leading out through turn number 4. We go once again. And again, no clear air getting onto that front wing of Davidson, but he is close now. He is absolutely traveling towards that rear wing of the car in front. Is there an opportunity to make a move? He fakes one there. He's definitely not close enough to make that opportunity his own. And I tell you what, Nella, not really blinking, is he? He's got, again, that clear air onto his front wing, so it's a lot easier to run around Indianapolis like that, and he's just not really putting a foot wrong right now. Look how close Davidson is getting to the wall each and every lap. Is he pushing? Absolutely.
Well, one thing I love about Neller's defending right now is every time Cale tries to fake towards the inside, to try to fake him so he can make a move around the outside really close again to the wall. Cale is not letting anything go here, and neither is Neller. But Neller is not falling for these fakes at all. He's not going to give Cale Davidson the time of day. Now he's really close here.
He's trying a different line. I love it.
Yeah.
I love what he's doing. He's adapting to the situation here. Is Davidson. He's trying to find something else that will work. If you answer a question with the same answer over and over again, you're going to get the same outcome. He's trying something different now. He's trying to go up high and then drop in low through to turn number 2. So it is closing up once again, and these are vital corners. Just got to let off the gas ever so slightly. So like qualifying, and then you've got to try and punch through the exit of turn number 4. But again, Nella very tight there to the apex as we come there then around that final corner. It is close between the two of them. Might be the closest they've been so far. Heading then down again towards those famous bricks, down towards 1. And once again, Nella has got all of the answers.
Well, I did just notice, I mean, we saw Davidson, I mean, he was, every time he came out of the corner, he was about 300s behind Neller, but now he is averaging about 200s behind him. So he is gaining time no matter how slowly. We are just started lap 22 of this 50-lap race, almost at the halfway point. Naney also putting pressure on them behind as much as he can. He's not gaining as much pressure on, or as much time on Davidson, but I think he might just be waiting for a moment to strike between the two of them.
But remember, if this race goes green to the end of this, these drivers are going to have to pit at some point, and we've got Petticord and Korn who managed to pit under the last caution. So they may be in an unbelievable position right now if it stays green until the end. But we've still got over 50% of this race, and I'll tell you what, there's pressure now. Nani has closed right onto the back of Davidson here, and we might be about to see a move, not one we thought we were going to see, but it might be for P2. They're all closing up then down towards turn 3, and once again, it's very difficult to find any kind of room to maneuver. What about turn number 4 then? Can Nani find himself an opportunity running down towards turn number 1? Again, you can just see you ran out of grip mid-corner, had to let off, and then that gap extends, and it becomes very, very tough to make that move down towards turn number 1. But these three, they are on it.
I mean, you got to know that Neller, every time that Naney and Davidson are fighting, you got to know that he's loving it, because this is gaining, he's letting him gain more time. And it's kind of switching back and forth between the two. We're going to see, and Cale Davidson's right in the middle of it. I mean, it's either Nell versus Davidson or Davidson versus Naney here, and it's kind of switching between the two.
At this point of the race now, this is where tyre wear is going to become a factor. It's going to be like racing on bubblegum on the exit of these corners. So easy then to extend into the walls. Very unforgiving is Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's you make a mistake and it's done and dusted. There's no real room for error. Front 3 then, as it stands. Nella still leads. Davidson is in second. Nani is in third. And by the looks of things, we've got Barringer in 4th. Jones in 5th. Paz, Petticord and Korn are your 8 drivers. Stagey and Moody, 2 of the fastest drivers, are out.
Yeah, and I mean, you were mentioning how IMS, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, is so unforgiving. We've already seen it with our 2 favorites, Moody and Stagey. And I mean, on a strategy point, Petticord and Korn have absolutely blown this out of the water if this works out in their favor, unless there's a caution, which, I mean, with how clean everybody's driving, I mean, you never know what you can expect. I don't want to jinx anything. Or maybe I do. Who doesn't love a little bit of chaos? But
I think it's clever. I think there's only 10 drivers in this race.
Yeah.
So the chances
laps.
of a caution, when you lose, how many have we lost? We lost 20% of our drivers. So there's less risk of people making mistakes because there's 2 less drivers. I think it was a really good call coming into pits. And if it's them that's called it, or their engineer maybe has called that, then they have got to take a massive, massive round of applause after this. That is outrageous decision making. But again, still plenty of time to go in this race. 25 laps to go. We're at the halfway point here, live from the Dallara HQ in Indianapolis. What a beautiful setting. We've got loads of people watching the race sat behind our sim racers, and I hope you're all having a great time.
And what a beautiful day it is outside.
Maybe a bit too hot, but I'm chubby,
yeah.
So that's kind of, fat guys, it's not fun for me, but it's lovely.
But it's a beautiful day to go and walk the strip of downtown Speedway and look at the restaurants. And while you're down here, might as well walk into the Dallara headquarters, check out the race that's happening right now. It's turning out to be a really, really great one. With just 24 laps to go, a little bit over halfway, still the same leaders that we've had. I think this is going to get really interesting when they start having to pit. Davidson's starting to put a bit more pressure, make up some time to Neller, and he's a little slow on the outskirt of that lap.
The longer this goes on, though, it does play into the hands of Petticord and Korn. They're only 4.7 seconds back is Petticord, and 6.6 seconds back for Korn. So Petticord right now is in a brilliant position if it goes green for the entirety of this race. There we go. There is Petticord. They're just sitting behind Paz, and I'm not being funny. When you know you've got such a great strategy call, I'm not pushing here at all. I'm staying behind Paz.
Yeah.
Mate, if 20 seconds behind, I'm still cool. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
I'm in a great spot to potentially be the first ever Indy Esports Challenge winner.
Yeah, you want to try to stay out of the dirty air that Barringer is putting off. And I am noticing, actually, Alex Jones has been knocked down to 8th, and Barringer's up in the 4th, Paz 5th, Petticord and Korn are in 6th and 7th, and Jones is down to 8th of the now last place with Moody and Stagey out.
Yeah, again, Moody and Stagey, they're going to be furious with how things have gone, but they have given everything today, and I think you'll find once they sort of process what's happened this weekend, they'll get to tomorrow or they'll get to Monday and they'll be like, do you know what, I gave absolutely everything. And that's all you can expect. A LAN event is so different to what these drivers are used to. When you race online, you've got your creature comforts, you've got your favourite pillow that you sit on, right? You know, you've got all of your favourite peripherals you're using. In a LAN environment, you're all using the same. It is an even playing field, but it's an alien playing field. So all you can expect is you give it absolutely everything, and you do not want to get to Monday and go, God, I wish I did this, or I wish I did that. You want to make sure you do it when you have the opportunity to do it. We're on board then with Jacob Petticord, currently in P5. Looks like Korn has gone past Barringer. And well, Barringer had an issue here. Barringer might have had an issue here because he is dropping down the order. But right now, Petticord is in Dreamland. If he goes green, I think he wins.
Yeah, Naney's starting to drop back a bit, but like I said earlier, we keep seeing that battle switch between either Neller and Davidson or Naney and Davidson. So he starts. Naney is pitting. Naney is our first driver other than Paz and Petticord to pit. So he's gone into the pits.
Yeah, so that's now impossible. There's Barringer. So that's why he dropped down. He pit. So he was the first one to blink out of the drivers that have not come in yet. And he comes back out. And that now means if it goes green, anyone who's pit now has no chance.
Look at that. Paz and Petticord are already. Paz has made his way up to the podium. Petticord is on 4th. Korn.
So Petticord and Korn are the two drivers that
I apologize.
Pit. So Paz has still got it to pit.
So the entire podium, the top 3 drivers, the entire podium set right now has to pit. And I mean, Petticord and Korn have just set themselves up for a wonderful, wonderful race. The rest of the drivers, all they can really hope for is now a caution to get caught back up.
But again, it was quite early that they pit, so they still might have to splash and dash. They'll be faster. They'll have a faster pit stop, so they might still have to bring it in. Again, we don't have the fuel data here, right? But it is going to be tight.
But the wonderful thing that we were talking about earlier is that we started to see them back off on the pace a little bit, therefore saving them probably a bit of fuel. So maybe they took that into account, but at the same time, I mean, you can never really you can prepare for it, but you can never really assume what the fuel is going to do.
No, you can see Paz now running out there. He's currently in 2nd position, and I think what the lead drivers are doing now, they're trying to split this stint in half and get fresh rubber on the car so that they're faster. So that's what they're trying to do at this point, just to maximise those tyres. But this is going to be so interesting. Nella's in the pits as well, so Paz is going to have a lead lap under his belt.
Yeah, and Petticord and Korn are now onto the podium, 2nd and 3rd so far. Paz is the only one that has not pit yet.
You can see there a few engineers sat next to their respective drivers or mates, just getting a little bit of help. See, some drivers don't like to be talked to. Max Verstappen, don't talk to him in braking. Don't talk to him in the braking.
Kimi Räikkönen back in the day.
Don't talk to him.
No.
Don't talk to Kimi.
He'll walk over to his yacht if you talk to him too much.
Absolutely. And then there's other drivers who love to have a chat. And as you can see, there's a few engineers, a few mates just sort of trying to help out. And ultimately, it's just so many different ways of getting that result. Right, 17 to go, and it is Paz that leads the way. He's still yet to pit. Petticord and Korn pit under caution, the 2nd caution of this race, the 2nd of 2, should I say. And we feel like they can go to the end. It's going to be tight, but we feel like they might be able to go to the end. Davidson in 4th position is the first of our drivers that pit under green conditions. And then we've got Nella, who's actually come out behind. So Nella's behind Davidson. So Davidson's managed to jump in with the pit stop phase.
Look at that. Yeah, he did pit first, I believe. So, and
7/10.
Look at that.
We're about to see Barringer
Look at that.
send one down on the inside. And that is a brilliant move there through turn number 1. Nicely worked. Nicely done.
Yeah, nice and clean. Nobody pushing their elbows out. They don't want to. It's so late in the race. You don't want to risk anything happening. I mean, they're going to keep battling, but you have to hope. I think that is Alex Jones going down the inside, and he's going to take it back. Brilliant battle from the two of these drivers.
Yeah, but Jones is a bit further back, isn't he? So this is that is a fair chunk of time a bit further back. So this is just going to hurt them. They keep doing this, keep leapfrogging each other down towards turn 1. We're about to see it reciprocated once again. Can Barringer make it work this time round again? Look at this, look at this. Almost the fastest formation lap in the world. But no, it's an overtake. It is green light racing, and I think we're about to see it reciprocated for the 4th time.
And I think the reason why these drivers are staying so close, I mean, all these overtakes have been through the inside, and the person on the outside has gotten a better exit and just been able to stay on the rear spoiler of the car in front. And that now a mistake from that driver. They're going to go for it again, but they aren't able to get it. I believe Barringer holds that off pretty well. Great defending again. Barringer.
They're just looking to try and get themselves a podium here. Paz is the one. Paz is the only driver who's actually just behind them, I think. So he's actually nearly a lap up upon these guys. That will put a lap on them, and that would be bad news if a caution was to come out. But Paz is chasing them down. He's still in the lead, yet to pit though. So he's the only driver who has not pit, still leading the way. Petticord and Korn, who have, again, played the strategy game. I wouldn't say they're necessarily the fastest on the grid. They've played the strategy game, and it's paying off right now. So if it goes green, we believe Petticord is going to win this.
Yeah, I mean, we had 6 Ball State drivers all in the top 6 spots, and now we have none on the podium. Davidson is in 4th. He's going to try to battle for that podium. Once Paz pits, he's going to have that podium. But from what looked like would be a obvious Ball State shutout with having 6 drivers, now 2 of them are down and none of them are in the podium spot.
No, and sometimes you got to learn from these experiences. So there'll be a debrief. They'll have to figure out what they did wrong and what they could have done better. As we see Cale Davidson battling for position once again with Nella. So Nella and Davidson have been battling pretty much this whole race, and it still continues.
Yeah, and Naney's in there as well. So it's actually Davidson, I believe, Naney, and Neller. And Neller's going to look down the inside of Naney. He's going to have a bit of a better line. And Naney finds contact with the wall. That's going to push him back. Neller finds the move on him. He's going to move up.
Yeah, these two really needed him to go into the wall big time there and cause a caution, because ultimately they would then go behind the drivers that have pit earlier on, Petticord and Korn, but have so much fresher tyres. It would be like taking candy from a baby. It really would be. 12 laps to go, and the sort of second lead battle is now down to 2.
Yeah, so it's really, I mean, if Petticord and Korn can keep their spots up here and keep this distance from Cale Davidson, it's going to be an easy cruising to 1st and 2nd. It's just going to be a battle between the 2 of them to see who wants it more. But if there's a caution, it's really going to open the door for Davidson and everybody behind. But other than that, other than the top 2, it's basically just a battle for 3rd, a battle to get the podium, battle to get that $950 worth equipment.
Yeah, Ben Nella, I was watching him earlier on as we were about to see a potential move then for what would be 4th position, not quite close enough, decides to back out of it. I was watching him earlier on, and his lines are very, very consistent. I'd say maybe from what I was seeing, and again, I'm a commentator, not a sim racer, so there's a reason why I talk about it. I'm not good enough to be a sim racer, but he looked maybe the most talented driver out there in terms of his consistencies. We're about to see a move then down the inside, and Nella giving the fans a little bit of action down towards turn number 1, and that is P4 for Ben Nella.
Yeah, and a driver I want to point out that's done exceptionally well is Cale Davidson. He is not a oval driver. He does not like oval tracks. He races for Formula and Road Series, and I mean he's just done a brilliant job of keeping up with these characters. And I think that is him battling, because I believe that's Naney behind the 2 of them. So I mean these 3 have been in the pack this whole time, have been battling each other this whole time. And there we go. Paz has finally pit. Petticord and Korn have officially taken their spots in the 1-2.
We got 10 to go here then in the first ever Indy Esports Challenge, live from the Dallara HQ, and they have not made it. The early pit stop has not worked out. Petticord has had to come down pit road, and this will be a splash and dash, so it will be a faster stop. But this may give Nella that lead, so I can't wait to see the merge. The merge here might be beautiful, might be exciting. This is the battle for the lead now, we believe. So Davidson looking to try and get ahead back on Nella, and when it does, Korn's already come through, so Korn is actually behind, so Petticord will probably fall behind as well. So right now this is again the front 3 of Ben Nella, Davidson, and indeed Nanny.
There it is.
For the lead of this race. We see a potential move then. Davidson sends one through turn number 1, and I tell you what, Nella's trying to keep it in. It's not going to quite work out there, and we've had a change of the lead then. It is Cale Davidson with 9 to go that leads the Indy Esports Challenge.
I mean, Petticourt and Korn pulled what we thought was a brilliant move and just an incredible strategical decision. However, you have to think, what if they waited a couple more laps afterwards? What if they took into account, maybe waited a little bit more? Would they have been able to make it to the end? I mean, you can't think about that now. All you have to do is stay in the race that's happening. But now we have Neller, Davidson, and Paz up in the front. Paz keeping that podium position so far.
They will be quick.
Neller.
That's the one thing I will say here. They will be lightning now because they will, of course, have the fresher rubber on their cars. So this is the battle for leading. Neller, who's led the most part of this, is now right underneath that rear wing of Davidson. Oh, he nearly runs out of road there. Although, look how cool, calm and collected this young man is. Running down the back straight down towards turn number 3. And Nani, who we thought was done. He was in the wall merely 3 laps ago. Is ultimately now back involved in this battle. So we are going to have a grandstand finish here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, get excited.
Oh, yeah. Davidson, Neller, Naney. An incredible. Oh, Neller's into the wall.
That is a big error again. Not really blinking in terms of emotions. And just chilling there, but realizing that could have been it. That could have been game over. And actually, you've got to respect that's a hell of a save.
Yeah, that was incredible. If that would have happened to me, I know I would have just sent it right into the pits.
I wouldn't have signed up for it. I just, no, not doing it. They're too fast for me.
Probably would have done a couple flips in the air.
100%.
Yeah, I've raced against a couple of these guys from Ball State, and I mean, I say raced. I've fallen behind. I've been lapped by these guys from Ball State, and I mean, they're just incredible drivers, and all these guys are, and they've just played their cards right. And I mean, Korn and Petticourt, it's such a shame, and we thought Petticourt kind of got the better result of the two. Korn pitted early, and now he's 19 seconds behind, and it's just a shame. I mean, you would think they thought about it strategically so well, and I mean, it's just a few miscalculations, and it ended up pushing them back. Ben
Neller has completely dropped back here. So right now it is between Davidson and Nani. I didn't think I was going to be saying that, but yes, there might be, I think there's damage to Neller's car. I think he's hit the wall a little bit too hard there, and ultimately through the corner it's going to be a bit of a sitting duck. So right now then it is going to be Davidson versus Nani. So Nani is up there as well, right? So yeah, this is hold on, it says on our screen here that Nani isn't battling for the lead, but I'm pretty sure that is the case.
That is Nani's car, I believe. Unless we've been seeing things wrong, but I am fairly 99% sure that is his car. But I mean, we talked about how consistent Neller has been, and how you mentioned how you think he is.
No, Nani's a lap down. So Nani is a lap down here by what we're looking at. So this is not actually a battle for the lead. So right now Davidson has this in his pocket. So even if he gets overtaken, he's done it. So yeah, I'm saying it says it's a 1 lap down here plus 0.2 of a second. So Davidson's got the backup now.
Look at that.
Albeit a lap down, he's got some backup.
Wall.
He doesn't. He just needs to keep it out the wall now. Neller, unfortunately, has put it in the wall. That's a caution as he goes completely across the track into the pits. We go. Does have a fast repair. Has made it to the pits, meaning he's not going to lose too much time. But with 4 laps to go, we are now looking at a green-white checkered.
This could completely change the game now. Everybody's going to be grouped up after this caution, after the safety car comes out. Neller, he's going to have a chance to gain some positions, but, I mean, how much can you do with one safety car? All you have to do is hope for a little bit more chaos in front of you in the middle of the pack, and hopefully in the front of the pack. I still think that's Davidson and Naney in the front, but he has one quick repair.
This is pit box. It's going to cost him more time, but he had damage, so it's going to be difficult to brake. You need 4 wheels really to brake on the point, and he's just going to be a little bit gutted. He's going to come back out. He's going to get involved, and this is going to be interesting. I think something we need to remember here is that Petticourt pit very late. He's going to have the best tyres, apart from maybe now Neller. So Neller is going to have to fight all the way through the pack. I don't think he'll be a lap down, so he's going to be golden. We'll be on the lead lap. So Neller is going to be on fresh rubber. That actually might, and this sounds crazy, him going into the wall might be the best thing that happens to him today. As crazy as that sounds.
That would be an incredible turnaround. I mean, but now you got to think Petticourt and Korn, they have the freshest tires. Well, they don't have the freshest tires. Yes, they do. They did pit. Or they just do a splash.
Of course, they have to pit a little bit later. So Petticourt and Korn will be 2 to watch out for, 100%. Also keep an eye out for Paz. Paz extended his stint a lot longer than the other group of leaders. Davidson, though, is in the lead of this race. So, just incredible. Crazy action here.
Out of 6 drivers from Ball State, we only have 1 in the lead. Isn't that insane?
Yeah,
that is insane
crazy.
to think about. The team that in the school that had dominated more 60% of the grid, and now only one of them's in. I mean, they dominated. They were top 6 in the qualifying, and now 2 of them are out, and the other one's just small mistakes. Small mistakes is what happens.
Yeah,
and, I mean, you have to remember that with how talented all these drivers are, they are still college students. They are still so
They're
young.
very young. The pressure
Yeah.
is massive. Like, they wouldn't have had to deal with this LAN environment before. Like, quite literally, there's an audience right behind them. So that's going to be nerve-wracking. So this is now to come down to the crunch. We're going to have ourselves a couple of lap dash around Indianapolis Motor Speedway to end our Indy Esports Challenge. And whilst we're doing a caution here, the prizes for P1 will be a wheelbase CS-DD Plus, a QR2 base side. We've got Club Sport Pedals V3, Club Sport Wheel Rim. We've got a Club Sport Universal Hub, QR2 Pro Wheel side for P2. You win yourself a Club Sport DD, CSL pedals load cell kit, a wheel rim flat one, a Club Sport Universal Hub as well, and a QR2 wheel side. And then for P3, a CSL DD 8 Newton meter wheelbase. We've got QR2 base side, CSL pedals, Club Sport wheel rim flat 1, CSL Universal Hub V2, and a QR2 light wheel side. And for people who don't understand what that means, well, P1's prize is worth about $2,000, P2 is worth about $1,550, and P3 is worth about $950.
I think we are about to go racing
I think there's
on one lap. So if you're Cale Davidson, you're in the lead, you have to think about, I can't make any mistakes. I have to just race like I'm on my own.
It's like last year's actual race.
I was just about to mention that, yeah. And I mean, if you're Cale Davidson, what you're thinking in your mind, like, this is just any other lap. This is just any other race. I'm on my own. You have to be in your own race. You have to keep your opponent in the dirty air. If you can do that for just one lap and not give him any opportunities, keep it out of the wall, keep it from making mistakes, he will have the win in his bag.
I'm not sure my voice can take this, but we're going to give it absolutely everything. We've only got
a
couple of laps left of this race.
And also, I mean, Petticord, he has a chance to make a great move onto Behringer for third position to get that last prize.
I think Paz is the one to watch out for here as well. He extended his stop so much later than the likes of Davidson. So I just think everybody's quicker than Davidson in terms of their tyres. Are they quicker than him in terms of pace? We are very much about to find out in the next 5 or so minutes. So the pace car then takes us around the final corner, and then we'll peel off to the right-hand side of the screen for us.
Watch how quick this pace car just whips it in. I always love this about.
And here we go. It is a mad dash to the finish here. Davidson.
He's going to hold this back as much as he can.
2 laps to go, and he's gone. He's gone green already. I'll tell you what, Petticord is making a move for P3. He's up the inside, and Petticord is going to come through, and he does successfully get it. He's going to have the better tyres, remember that. So we've got ourselves about 7 more corners to go.
And look how good his exit was. He's right behind the likes of Paz. He could totally make another move here if possible.
Look how close. Paz looking for a move around the outside. Petticord sends it up the inside. It's 3 wide, and Petticord, he makes it stick. It's beautiful from Petticord. We're heading round the final corner, and is it going to be green to the end? I'm not sure about it. It was a brilliant bit of driving, and across the line it will be. Petticord, what a move!
And now Neller, the only Ball State student, he finds it in second. Jones in the third. Behringer finds fourth. Cale Davidson, a heartbreaking end for Cale Davidson at the end there.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Petticord, what an incredible race. You can see the excitement on his face. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, you now need to go and interview them.
I do.
That's your job. Off you go. Jacob Petticord, he played the strategy game. We thought he might be able to go to the end. Didn't work out like that. He had a splash and dash. He had the fresh rubber. And oh boy, what a move. 3 wide into the second to last turn. Gets the job done. Smiles all over the place. I hope we get a replay of that. I want to see that replay about 900 times. That was delicious. That was the Indy Esports Challenge. I hope everybody who is here is entertained. Absolutely outstanding. You can see how happy he is. He's doing some donuts. Of course, he's doing some donuts. And why not? Congratulations then to Pedicor. So we're just waiting here to be ready for some interviews. Devin is going to go and have a little chat with our race winner as we get a lovely shot then of the donuts. And well, virtually you can go there and kiss those bricks. Where's the milk? Someone pour milk on him right now. Unbelievable scenes. Again, just spinning up those rears. He's got plenty of tyres left, that's for sure, because he pits so late. Look how happy he is. He's buzzing as he now heads into the pits. Oh, what a performance. It was a performance of strategy, and it paid off brilliantly well. Outstanding. But the move to win it, oh boy, that move will be played back forever. I want to see it. I want to see it. Oh, it's just absolutely outstanding. We saw some angry drivers on the outside through turn number 3, but ultimately there was one driver that made it stick, wasn't worried about them on the outside, and well, just held on beautifully well. So here we are, we're about to see it. So there's the contact. So there is the contact. We need to see the build up to it really, as we see again, more drivers getting involved, but we need to see turn at number 3 before 4, because that move was just delicious. But as you can see there, that is not how you want to be finishing the Indy 125, as we call it, the Indy Esports Challenge. So it looks like we are ready to rock and roll with some interviews. Go and join Devin, who is with our winner. Oh boy, what an unbelievable set of circumstances. A move that, deserved to win the whole race. It was an exceptional final lap there from Jacob, and just fully deserved what we have just seen. I'm not sure if we're going to see the final lap, unfortunately, so I will wrap it up here and say thank you to all of our partners. Thank you to Fanatec, thank you to MSI, to Delara, to AK Esports. This has been the Indy Esports Challenge. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes, especially all of the help from the Ball State University. Thank you to Devin, who's just done a beautiful interview there. An absolute pleasure to work with him. And again, to anybody that was a part of this broadcast, hopefully this is the first of many. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you go and follow on social media and let us know what you enjoyed about the broadcast. Hopefully everybody who is here live with us has enjoyed the broadcast as well. Well, I've been Luke Crane, and I'll catch you next time.